Hello and welcome back to Tammy's Antique Vintage Dolls and More. And it's been a little while since I've made a video here. So I had a request back not too long ago. Someone emailed me and asked if I could show all my buggies. And I think there was another request too. And I know I've got videos of my buggies, but I'm going to do it again because I needed to clean out my doll room and get the floor cleaned up. So you're lucky because it needed to be done. So, and I like to get to the back of my doll room and dust and everything. So this worked out really at a nice time to get this done. So I thought, okay, why not? I'll do it again and put some different dolls out this time. And instead of the old regular dolls, I pulled a few more off the shelf and made it a little different. So here what you're seeing is that I'm going to say about an 1890 actual baby buggy. I acquired this year from a lady who has a shop in town here, and she got a hold of me and we made a deal on it, and we were both happy with it, and it's going to be going up for restoration, not today, and probably next year sometime. I'm hoping. I got so much up ahead, but right now it still shows well, and it was made by a company in the United States. It does have a plaque on it. If you come around here, I think this is the right side. Maybe I'm wrong. It could be the other side now. I don't see it here, John. So I got a feeling it's on the other side. So let's flip her around a little bit. And they call it something carriage. Let me just take it. And these babies are rocking. See if it's on this side. Is it on that side?
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. So you can zoom up on that. Okay, so that will tell you who made it and everything. And it dates about, I'm going to say, the best I'm going to come up with a date is about maybe anywhere. He started making these types of carriages in the 1860s all the way up to about the turn of the century. And then carriages start to change a little bit, better materials start coming in.
What is this here?
This here is where the umbrella would go over the babies to put instead of having like we have a bonnet over our buggies today, or strollers or whatever, or prams. This here was a parasol that went over the child to take the sun off the child, the baby inside, that's sitting inside. I do not have the umbrella or anything of that sort at this time. I will require one. I will find one. I will get one. We have ideas that we've been putting into our heads about what we like to do, and so we got some work up ahead on this here. So now the next one we're going to go to, we're going to take a jump in the centuries, because we're going to call this video Buggies Through the Centuries, or Prams Through the Centuries, whatever, or Carriages Through the Centuries, through the years, maybe that'd be better. And because we're jumping from one century into another. So let's just jump back to this one more time. This one here, I would say, is anywhere from 1860 to the turn of the century this was made, and I'm within reason. You can take, if you find out more information about it, tell me about it. But it's in that range, that 40-year range to the 1900s. Anyhow.
Why don't you move that one down that way so I can go all the way around this one?
Oh, okay. We'll move this one out a little bit.
Yeah, now bring this one out.
We got walnuts. These lovely things.
Oh, yeah.
And you step on that, you can roll your ankle. And if it hits you in the head, it can almost knock you out.
And
they're like bullets coming at you.
Just one little item of interest. We have these gigantic walnut trees here. And then we have this tin shed that belongs to the neighbors. And it'll be totally quiet and peaceful out, and all of a sudden it literally sounds like a shotgun going off when a walnut falls all the way from the top of the tree and onto that tin shed.
It's just like bang.
It's a wonder we haven't had a SWAT team come over here saying that they've heard gunshots.
It sounds like it to us anyways. I'll be in the shop at night and walnuts will hit the roof and I'll jump, and I know what it is. I should know by now, but they come as such a surprise. So anyways, back to the prams, buggies, carriages. It seems like every country has what they call, like a name for what they call them. I was raised up in the idea of calling either a buggy or a stroller. So, or Carriage. Carriage was another one I was using. But pram, once in a while I did hear that word, pram. Now this is a Shirley Temple buggy here. And it has her face on each side of the buggy. And I got baby Shirley Temple sitting in here. And this was a birthday doll for me last year. And this was my birthday gift from last year I got. And something I've been wanting for quite some time. I'm happy with the 15, 16 inch Shirley Temple I do have here. She's quite a little gem. Now, I do want to get the bigger one down the road, and that's something I'll look at later. But her eyes do flirt, and that's typical of the ideal dolls, especially for the Shirley Temple dolls, because she had flirty little eyes, and they made sure even the baby had the flirty eyes. Now, Shirley Temple will come also, not just with the molded hair like you see, but she'll also come with a wig. I prefer the molded hair. So that's something I trend more towards molded hair than I do the actual hair. I find that it's too much hair for my take, for a baby to have that much hair. Though I know babies can, they will have a lot of hair. There are babies that do. I still just like the molded hair. So a very nice little setup here. Now I use this nice blanket in here to hold her up because it's quite big for her. She's so little that she sinks kind of into the bottom of it and you really can't see her. So we'll move her over now to the side and we'll go to the next one. And this here is just a nice typical 1930s, same time period I would say, from the 20s, 30s this one is, of a wicker buggy. Now what we have here is Honey Child, and we have a Bilo. I left this Bilo I just acquired not too long ago, but I want you to see how the Bilo baby and this Honey Child look so much alike. And where you see the likenesses is really across that cheek level there. This is really a copy of this, trying to copy this, mimic this, the Bilo baby. The Bilo baby is the original baby. And of course it made its bang in history. And I've explained the story, and I don't mind telling it again, about how Grace Putnam went to an orphanage and sculpted a 5-day-old baby. Took that to the men who owned the toy manufacturing world, and they just went, nope, looks too real. We don't want that doll. So she thought, well, what am I going to do? So she took it to the mothers and to the young girls, and they ate her right up. They just thought she was a beautiful doll. And to some mothers who lost their babies in childbirth, it really tugged on their heartstrings. And that was expressed during that time. And how much they wanted to hold that doll, because it was like holding the baby that they lost. And so anyways, that doll was the only reason why it got produced. The only reason how it got produced was because the women pushed for it.
I don't get the concept. The men said, no, we don't want the doll because it looks too real. Isn't that the whole idea of making a doll, to make it look real?
Well, maybe it scared them. I don't know. But this is what we feel today of the realistic dolls, what a lot of reactions we get because they look so real, was the same reaction they got back in the 1920s. Because this doll to them looked so real. Like a real newborn baby to them. So it's just different times, different materials. I understand that. But they felt that it was just too realistic, not dolly enough. It was too baby. And they were trying to stop it, but when they saw this, the protesting for this and how women wanted this doll, it was produced, and it's still a highly sought after doll, even to this very day. And then Honey Child and a lot of other knockoffs came along. But Honey Child's a gorgeous baby in its own right. I love the doll, but it's just something how many dolls came out and tried to mimic this doll here, the Bilo baby. So anyways, one more thing I want to say about the Bilo baby is that even to this very day, it's still being, you can still buy molds of this doll. She's been reproduced into vinyl as well, and right into the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You can still find her being in ceramic shops to this very day, where you can still paint a doll very, very similar to this. Some are even stamped Grace S. Putnam on the back because it is her actual mold. So just let that be said. It's a doll that has still highly sought after and painted to this very day for personal use. Okay, so we'll move this buggy over to the side.
Let me just get a sideways shot of it here.
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Now in here, you can see, this was a little window. You can still see the old celluloid that was in there. If you look at the Shirley Temple buggy, you can see that the celluloid is still in the windows. It's natural for it to break.
Yeah, there it is.
Little kids poked their fingers through. There were, you know, these buggies were played with. They were used very well. And, but just to show, there is some wear on these. And do they take some bumps and bruises? Sure they do. Now we're going to jump up into the 60s, 50s, 60s now. Late 50s into the 60s. This is my time period now that we're coming into. And this is the Gendron baby buggy that was made in Canada by a German gentleman. And he made very sturdy buggies out of steel. And did they ever last? They last very well. And so anyways, what I want to show here is the dolls that are inside the buggy first. Okay, John? Let's show what's inside the buggy first. Okay. We have, I hope I got her name right. She's called by the Ideal Toy Company from the 1960s. She's the Bouncing Snoozy. I think I got her right. If I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. I very well could be. Now I acquired her a little while ago, about maybe 2-3 years ago. And I got her for a good price, and I know now she's going for quite some sum of money. I can't believe that, but dolls have kind of been all over the place as far as their prices are concerned. But she's a cute little thing. So, and down here I have the smaller version, and she's a wiggly. She has the turn, and she's more like the Thumbelina style. I don't know if she'll turn or not. I mean, like you can actually see her. She's kind of, no, she's not doing a whole lot there.
No.
Maybe if I lift her.
Maybe that's.
I can feel her body moving.
Wind it a little bit more, maybe.
I can feel, okay, I can feel in my hand her body moving, but it's so slight. So we'll just let her be. She needs some work on the inside of her there. But anyway, she's wearing this cute little dress and little sock set, so. But anyway, she's from the same time period. Just she's just, I think this one's just Snoozy. This is Bouncing Snoozy, I think. But she's wearing a real cute little fall dress there. She's worn that for quite some time here. So anyways, we'll take her and move her over to the side here, so John can get you a side view of it, and we'll take a look at the design of them.
Oh, fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
A coat of arms.
Something there anyways. And this part here needs to be all worked on because it's so old that it wants to rip. So I really don't open and close these. They need to be treated. I haven't done that yet. Like I said, I have so much to do. But anyways, very nice buggies all the same. Now we're going to move this one off to the side here. And we're going to come to the second Gendron buggy. Now this is the same time period, same age, just a bigger, this is a little bit on the bigger side for an older child. The other one is, we'll put them side by side so you can see their differences in heights. So you have one that's for a smaller child, one for a bigger child. Because when buggies were being made, carriages were being made back in the 60s, they were made for the little girl and for the older girl, because older girls were playing with their dolls just as much as the younger girls were back in those days. It was nothing for a 10, 11, 12-year-old to be still playing with their dolls. Now who do we have sitting here? These are two D&C black babies, and I just love them. I think they're just beautiful. Oh yeah. I haven't named him yet. I was thinking of the name Jerome the deer, but I'm not sure yet. I picked him up at a yard sale not too long ago. Put on Jerome there. I think I'm going to call him Jerome.
Jerome.
Jerome. You remember, I don't know if anybody ever remembers this program. Back when I was a little girl, it was called The Friendly Giant. And I think there was a giraffe named Jerome.
Oh, okay.
And he would play his flute, and out would come Jerome. And there was a rooster or chicken or something that came out of a bag. But anyways, I know he's not a giraffe, but he just looks like a Jerome to me. But anyways, Jerome the deer came in for a visit. He's friendly to all the babies here. But these are my two little black babies. I think they're just beautiful. They're gorgeous. I just love them to pieces. And I think they need to come out and they need to be part of this just as well. And so I just acquired this one this year, and I made him into the boy because he has the nice little molded hair. That's nice. That should be showing right off.
Molded hair. Oh,
He
yeah.
has the molded hair. Now, he could be a girl just as well. You can make them whatever you want, but I just saw the boy in him, and I just went to make him the boy, and I made the girl, little girl here with all the hair going all over the place. She's my little girl. I think she's as cute as a button. They both are.
Okay, can I get a sideways
So we'll
view?
get a side view of these just as well. You can come right on this side, John, and just
I'll
get right
do it
there.
on this side.
Now, that one doesn't have the any emblem, embossed, applied emblem on it, but it does have the nice little white stripe here and everything going down. Very nice. These were like tanks. And they take a lot of room up in my doll room, but they're worth it to me. I had a blue and white one when I was a child, and it reminds me of the one that I had as a child.
Oh yeah,
And
if this was built today, in a year, it'd just be nothing but a pile of scrap metal.
well, it's all plastic today.
Yeah.
This is all steel. Everything on this is either aluminum or steel. And very well made. Made to be bounced around. Could take the bouncing as well too.
Just look at how thick that steel is there.
Yeah, another thing is that the Gendron buggies were not just made for little girls. They were also made for mothers. My brother and I, when my two older brothers were in school, my mother would put us into a Gendron buggy, and there was enough room for two of us, and we would both lay down and go to sleep while she took us uptown to do her shopping, and it was like a visiting thing. All the mothers went uptown with their babies, and they bring these big tank buggies down the sidewalks, and we either be up or sleeping or whatever, and we're just sitting looking around, and we both could sit inside that buggy, and we go right off to sleep if we had to. If we were missing our nap time, down we went right in the buggy, and the fresh air knocked us out. And I remember that still to this very day. I'll be about 3 years of age, and I can remember moments of that. So anyways, let's move this. And now we're coming to Henrietta, and Einstein. Now they're just in a little wicker buggy. It's not very old at all. It's probably from the 80s, I would say, but it holds them very nicely. And it's just an all wicker little buggy. But it's a nice little buggy that I can sit in my room, and we'll just put this over their heads right now just for a minute so you can see that even the back of it, it's all wicker. Just a nice little wicker buggy. Now we'll take them, and there we go. And here they are. And they're sitting in there, and he can drink his banana milk if he wants to. Hold on to his bottle and drink his banana milk. There he goes. Now how did I make this? If you want to know how, this is just a styrofoam bottle. I colored banana, cut the top off, paint. You can just put a little bit of yellow on there so it shows up through the nipple.
Let me see the yellow. Okay.
So you can make it look like banana milk coming out. Okay, so then you don't have to color it all because it's going to be hidden. And then when you screw that on, see, you just see the yellow through there, that little bit. And then you can stick it right into his mouth, and there he goes. He's drinking away his banana milk.
You're a genius.
Oh, I saw this somewhere.
Oh.
I think it was on eBay. They were making them and selling them, and I thought, oh, I can do that myself. And away I go, and you just do it yourself. And I just pick them up at Buck stores, those styrofoam bananas. But anyways, they're